What's going on, YouTube? Back once again in the shed, and I welcome you to yet another review. Thank you for joining me. Here we are, yet again. As I said, you'll be seeing more of me. So, I'm trying to keep it going. Trying to keep it on top. I had this one to do, so get out of the way. And I had a request for one snuff as well, so I'm going to get to that next. But anyway, probably should have got that lit properly before, shouldn't I? Today, I'm smoking another pipe. It may have been a silly buy. I don't know. I got into the Falcon pipes, and I'm just interested in these metal pipes and the shapes, and this one's called a Duncan Delta. I tried to look it up, and I couldn't really get any hits on it, so it may be a load of rubbish, I don't know. But it's pretty similar to a Falcon. It's a bit lighter. The only difference is it doesn't have a pit in it. You know, like a little knobble bit in the middle for the filter thing, the pipe cleaner to go round. It's just an empty cup, and then the bowls on this one have like 5 holes. Can you see that? But yeah, you can still put a little bit of pipe cleaner in it like the Falcons, and it works just the same. Gone out again. But yeah, and the actual, you know, this part is different, obviously, but I think it serves the same purpose as a Falcon. But it smokes alright. When I actually sit down and give it a chance to light, rather than talking. And in it I've got another Wilson's Asharo blend. It's Perfection. I think it's, I can't quite remember, but it's an aromatic, and I think it's got caramel. I think it's cased with caramel, something like that. It's quite a sweet aromatic, you know, sugary caramel sweet. But if I'm honest, I kind of like them ones. Whew. Not allowed to like aromatics, are we? Proper pipe smokers. Don't smoke aromatics. Sod it, I say. I think they're alright. So, that's my 2 pence worth. But yeah, the pipe's not bad. It smokes fine. But, as I said, I tried to look up the Duncan Delta, but I couldn't find any hits on it, really. Nothing really came up in the Pipepedia, so I don't know. It might be just some cheap knockoff. The font used on Duncan is reminiscent of the Duncan, like, no, it's not Duncan. I'm getting my wires crossed then. It's Dunhill, isn't it? Not Duncan. Anyway, I'll take a picture, stick it up for you. Anyway, get rid of the pipe stuff out of the way, because today we're here for snuff. Yay! Right. The snuff we are doing today is, yeah, Neffa Ifrikia. I haven't got a clue. Never heard of it. Never seen it. And it just popped up on Toke. I think Mr. Snuff actually sold it in the past, but I'd never seen this before. Well, no, I think I've seen the pops before, because I think it's linked. I think the company that do that macula stuff. But this is a nasal snuff, not the sort of oral macula stuff, which I'm not really clued up on that macula. Macula? I don't know how you say it, but you know what I mean. Malka. Yeah, so I picked this up. Quite expensive for what it is. Little 8-gram tin. I think it was 4 or 5 quid. Somewhere around that mark. So, I don't know. Let's crack into her and see what she's saying, shall we? After I light my pipe again. Don't know if you can hear the wind. It's blowing a gale a bit out there today. Right. Where did I put? There it is. My pipe. Alright, crack into it and see what she's saying. Sorry for stalling. It comes in a bit of a different pot. Opens like a tin as such, but it's a really slim plastic tub. At first I thought it was a bit weird and a bit, like I was going to spill it, but it's not actually too bad. It's actually quite comfortable to carry around in the pocket. Okay. Let's see what she's saying, shall we? And have a look at her. Okay, so to look at, it is a sort of palish brown, little bit grey, if I dare say that, but it's, you know what I mean, it's like got a paleness to the brown. It is very dry. It doesn't want to clump. It's completely sandy, and it is very, very fine, or very fine. Between the fingertips, yeah, I'd say there's a teeny bit of moisture in there because it wants to stick to your fingers a little bit, but it's not clumping together. You blow it, it's going to blow away. Okay. Let's see what she's saying in the old snozzaroo, shall we? As I say, it's very dry and very fine, so you want to, take with caution. Bring out full technique of your snuff food. Okay, on the bump, it's got a nice little burn on it, but it's that kind of dry, stingy burn. And on the off, I'll address the elephant in the room. On the description, it says that it smells like a sweaty horse. Does it smell like a sweaty horse? If I'm honest, I don't have too much experience with horses, but I'd say yeah. It's kind of what I would imagine a sweaty horse to smell like, or like a sweaty animal, sweaty dog, like clean. So when you got your clean dog, but your dog's come in and he's been running around, and it's not an unpleasant smell, not like a stinky wet dog, but it's definitely got that sort of animalistic scent about it. It's definitely got a barnyardy scent to it. It is a completely plain tobacco. There's nothing casing it. There's no added scents. It's just a pure tobacco, snuff, which is nice sometimes, isn't it? You know, sometimes it's good to get away from all the overbearing scents and get back to basics. But yeah, it's got a sort of a pleasant, warming, inviting scent to it, if you get my meaning. It's quite high in nick. I mean, it's dry and fine, so it means you're going to absorb nicotine quickly, but yeah, it's got a good satisfying nick content, and it's you know, it's got that sort of barnyardy old leather, sort of like, yeah, like the woody barn, and a little bit of hay, and yeah, it's got all that old leather, did I say, like that sort of stuff about it. But you know, no, as far as I can tell, there's no sort of poop, feces smell that some people associate with that barnyard scent. Yeah, it's quite good. At first I was a little bit plain, and the animal smell was a little bit interesting. It took me a little bit to sort of come round to it, but I have found myself using more and more of it, and I have found myself becoming a fan of it. I tell you what, I would just like to try and quickly add something towards the conversation of the whole barnyard scent, because I came across, I can't remember where it was, whether it was on the Snuff House forum or something. It was an older post, but someone had written a post talking about that barnyard scent, and he made a compelling argument. The argument was that the smell that you're smelling when you get that sort of animalistic barnyard smell is that it's similar to sort of cattle feed, you know, like cattle silage. You know, when they get the silos and they, you know, turn it all into cattle feed. Apparently, this is what the fellow who wrote the post says, it smells similar to that. And then he was explaining how, you know, that cattle feed is preserved through acidification, which can change the smell depending on how you do it. So it can be anything from, I did jot it down somewhere. Hang on. There it is. Sorry. It can be anything from sort of like the ammonia smell, which we all know you can kind of get in snuffs anyway, but it can create ammonia. It can then end up smelling like a slightly sweet tobacco within itself, but then it can also end up smelling like sweet butterscotch and things like that. But if it's done wrong, it can start smelling rotten or like animal feces. So I don't know, I just found that quite a compelling argument, and I thought, yeah, you know, like when I try and explain, I remember saying a while back that there was like different, to me there was a different kind of barnyard scent from, like, if you look at, say, NTSU, you know what I mean, or taxi, right? If you, that to me is more reminiscent of a sort of dirty barn, maybe a little bit sort of feces-ish, although I wouldn't call it that, but that's more like the way I would describe that scent. But when you talk about barnyards that are in sort of Indian snuffs and that, I sort of said that it was more of an animalistic scent. And I think that's what I'm saying in this. It's got that animalistic smell, and I think that's what they're describing in the description by saying, oh, it smells like a sweaty horse. It smells more like the animal than it does the barn, if you understand what I'm saying. But anyway, I've probably done a terrible job of explaining that. It seemed a good thing to talk about in my head. I probably just caned you with waffle, with cream and maple syrup and everything. So, yeah, I don't know. Have a look. You might come across the post that I came across, but I thought it was a really compelling argument that the animal feed does have this sort of smell about it, you know? And that might be what is making the association with snuff. I don't know. I'm waffling, but as far as this one goes, it's a damn good snuff. I'm going to give it a... because I've been quite enjoying it. I've gone back to it. I will cane it all up. My only downside to it is you can only get it in these little 8-gram tubs, and you know, it's towards the expensive end, isn't it? 4 or 5 quid for an 8-gram tub. It may be a little less than that, but I don't think it's below 4 quid. For 8 grams, that's a bit pricey. But having said that, it is really nice. It's a really nice treat. I found myself taking this out in my pocket, and because it's so fine, just taking little pinches of it. Because if I try and do this outside, it'll just blow away. But it's definitely got this, yeah, like a warm animal inviting scent to it. But it's a plain, no nonsense tobacco snuff. So if you are in the fancy for that, maybe it's worth giving it a go. I don't know if they're still in stock, but I assume they're going to try and keep it in stock. So if it's not in stock, it'll come back up soon, hopefully. But yeah, that's where I sit on that one. Hopefully I didn't do too bad a job on it. You don't waffle too much. I probably should have sat down and thought about it more, how I was going to present it, but it just kind of came out how it did. It may have been a load of waffle, but hopefully you gain something of value, or maybe even I've started a conversation, but I don't know, it made sense to me. Tell me in the comments if you agree. Tell me in the comments if you think I'm chatting waffle. I got thick skin, I can handle it. And I see you lot as friends, and friends can, you know, it offend each other now and then. That's fine. Who else is going to tell you when you're chatting shit other than your friends? So it's down to you to keep me in check. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. So I'm going to say remember to tap, pinch and toot, because that's 3 ingredients. Your enjoyment is what I got for you. So remember to come back to the shed. And until then, I shall bid you farewell.